Hello, my name is Jill Robinson, and I am presenting a review of the Heidi Roizen case study for Seminar on Organizational Behavior. Heidi Roizen is a highly successful entrepreneur, corporate executive, venture capitalist, and networker. A high-energy, outgoing, and likable person, she has a natural tendency and passion to meet intelligent and interesting people. She is always looking to connect those types of people with others she knows in order to benefit all parties involved. Operating on a foundation of fairness, she reaps the benefits of being a matcher and is able to preserve an equal balance of giving and getting. Her ability to effectively network is fascinating to me, as this is an area of my professional career that I am not fully utilizing. It does not come easily for me, and so I found Heidi's story extremely informative and useful. Throughout her career, Heidi followed three things in building and maintaining a successful network. First, having access to people. This is built over time and is what Heidi did even prior to her first job out of college. Second, performance during and after each interaction. This means that you are responsive to the person you have connected with and that you will follow through and do what you said you would do. Third, consistency with your actions. This means that in each connection you are consistent in your actions. Heidi was influenced as a child by her circumstances and used them to her advantage. Following her parents' divorce, she became her own entrepreneur, managing and operating a puppet show business for children's birthday parties. During her high school years, she learned early on how to create and run a business. Heidi obtained her undergraduate degree in creative writing from Stanford 2 semesters early so she could pursue a career of her own. The local job market was limited to the technology industry. In order to use her education and skills, she applied and secured a position as editor of the company newsletter at Tandem Computer. She was aggressive in her pursuit of this position, using her connection through a mutual friend to reach out to the woman in charge of the hiring process. She reached her on a Saturday, hit it off, and was offered the job. This was the first networking experience mentioned in the article for Heidi, and it was the catapult for the rest of her successful career. During her time at Tandem, Heidi was allowed to sit in on top management meetings where important topics were discussed. Because she represented these key strategic ideas through her newsletter, the CEO had cause to interact with her and maintain a positive relationship with her. About that time, Heidi decided to return to school and work towards a graduate degree in business. She used the relationship that she had strategically established with the Tandem CEO and asked him to write her a letter of recommendation. Another positive result was created through networking, as she was accepted to the graduate program at Stanford. Upon graduation from Stanford's graduate program in business, Heidi took the less popular route and worked with her computer programmer brother. Together, they turned a software program he had written, TableMaker, also known as TeamMaker, into a legitimate company. Heidi was able to leverage her outgoing personality, her drive to meet interesting people, and build good relationships with the press in order to successfully market their company. A strong factor for her successfully networking herself and her company was her joining the Software Publishers Association, also known as SPA. SPA is a group that was dedicated to raising awareness about issues facing software industry. She eventually was elected president of SPA, which provided additional exposure in the technology industry and allowed her to meet with industry leaders. Between 1983 and 1994, Heidi grew TeamMaker to $15 million in annual sales and 100 employees. All of these situations in Heidi's personal life and career had strengthened her network to this point. However, this network was tested when she joined forces with Apple as Vice President of Worldwide Developer Relations. Apple was on the downturn, and Heidi was tasked with ensuring that external software developers would continue to support the Apple platform. This required her to reach out through her network contacts and call in favors. It was the first time she had to use the network she had been building for years. It did not fail her and only allowed her network to grow and thrive, and so did Apple. Throughout her career, Heidi has exemplified many of the concepts discussed in Module 5 of our coursework. In the Science of Persuasion video and Harnessing the Science of Persuasion, the authors detailed out what it takes to be a persuasive person. Different fundamental principles were defined. Heidi used these concepts to affect her power, her influence, and her networking success. Some of those principles of persuasion discussed are the principle of reciprocity. It is defined as people repay in kind. The application is to give what you want to receive. Heidi consistently brought together people that would benefit each other, ones that had something to offer each other in reciprocity. This included herself in the connection as well. Another principle is the principle of liking. It is defined as people like those who like them. Factors that increase liking are similarity and praise. Similarity draws people together, creating goodwill and trustworthiness. Praise can be used to repair a relationship that's damaged. Heidi was always networking with those she knew that had similar interests. She also effectively managed hundreds of employees at any given time. The principle of authority. It states that people will follow credible, knowledgeable experts. Heidi was sure to establish her own expertise before attempting to influence others. She gained the education and experience prior to stepping into any situation that she would need to exert influence on others. According to Adam Grant's book, Givers and Takers, as well as his LinkedIn post, there are givers, takers, and matchers. Generally speaking, givers are others-focused. Takers like to get more than they give, and matchers strive to preserve an equal balance of giving and getting. Matchers work on the premise of fairness. As I mentioned earlier, Heidi Roizen is a matcher, always looking out for everyone involved, making sure everything is fair. She is also very adept and integrates being a giver into her mix. She has mastered the ability to be a productive giver, focusing on acting in the long-term best interests of others. She can give without becoming burnt out and keeps her interests on the forefront. I've always said that we are never done. We are works in progress. I feel like I have learned a lot about getting outside of my box, to focus on growing, reaching out, and connecting with others in ways that can benefit not only myself, but others as well. Heidi Roizen not only has an amazing network, but she has been able to establish this while maintaining a very healthy personal life. For me, there is hope. Thank you.